everybody. Welcome to another episode of West Coast Street Knowledge. I'm your host, Gil, aka the American Cholo, and today it's my pleasure to introduce to you OG Bam from Watsonville. What's going on, brother?
What's up, bro? How's it going? It's a pleasure to be here.
First of all, I want to say thank you for coming on. This is actually some groundbreaking shit. This is the first Norteno I've ever had, or maybe a homie has ever had in an interview thing, and I appreciate that you, after I reached out to you, you got back to me, and now we're here, brother.
Yes, sir. Hey, no, it's a pleasure's all mine, bro. Trust me, it's cool, man. I've been following you for a little bit on YouTube, and you know what I'm saying. I'm into it, bro. I'm into it.
Well, somebody sent me your link, brother, and I started looking at some of your stuff, and I was like, wow, I could relate to a lot of the stuff. Some of the stuff, obviously, I didn't agree on, but hey, what men agree on everything, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and then we're adults, you know what I mean. There's a lot of cats that disagree with me on all kinds of stuff, but we're still cool, you know what I'm saying.
So let's just get a little history on you, where you grew up, where you from, the whole get down. That way people know who you are before we start talking into this.
All right, so I'm a northerner from upstate. I grew up in Watsonville, California, born and raised Watsonville. It's a farm town, you know what I'm saying? A lot of fields, little city, big problems. So, and then so I just grew up there. As far back as I can remember, bro, it's always been like a lot of Mexican nationals, you know what I'm saying? Not no like Chicanos and stuff. So when I was younger, it was like a lot of Mexican nationals and shit. And so my grandma is Filipino, and my grandma's from the Philippines. She came here when she was 9. She worked in the fields in the Mora. So she got brought up Mexican. She had my mom with a Mexican dude. I'm not sure what part of Mexico he's from, and you know what I mean? So we got group. She's Filipino, but she speaks Spanish and all that. You know what I mean? It's the culture out here.
Right.
And so I'm 31. I started gangbanging fucking when I was like 12, right? But I've always had like this. I guess you could say I'm an old soul. Right. You know what I'm saying? So even when I was doing, you know how everything's going on with like the fuck the police and all this shit.
Correct.
So like so what's going on with that? Like I've always been the kind of person, like, I mean, I'm watching all these videos of police brutality and all that, right?
Correct.
And I can relate because I remember being young, bro, and I used to fight when I was little, bro. We used to play a game. We'd be hanging out right there in my apartments. We'd be hanging out right there in my apartments, right? So, and it was like a main street, and there was a gate and a basketball court, and just for no reason, right? Like we were kids. I was like, what, like 8, 9. And we weren't committing no crime or anything, right? But police would come and we'd take off running, right? We'd take off running. It was just a little game. Like we already knew we weren't afraid of the cops. So we'd take off running just to see who got caught, and the cops would come and chase us. And whoever got caught lost, you know what I'm saying? And they would literally catch us, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so yeah, so like to me, like it was always like a little game of like run from the cops, you know? That's just the way like we seen the older heads, like the teenagers were doing it. And then when me and my little homies, we were like 9, 10, we would do it too whenever they were around, or we would be with them and they would do it. And I mean, I just had my run-in with the laws already at a young age, but they would they never. I think they caught me once, and they were just like, "Why are you running?" Like, and then after a while, they kind of knew the kind of game we would play right there in those apartments.
Right.
And so yeah, that's the kind of games I grew up playing as a kid, bro. Like just running from the cops. You know what I'm saying?
You so guys are just following suit of what the other homies are doing.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And yeah, so like up here, right? And then too, you know, so up here is like northerner and southerner, bro. It's like 2 separate gangs. But you know what I'm saying? Like over here, there's a big cultural difference. You know what I'm saying? Like the southerners up here, they don't really speak no English, like literally no English. You know what I mean? Right. Now they're starting to. You know what I'm saying? So like when you come across a southerner from LA, it's like, oh shit, wait, this fool's speaking like me, you know? So like that's the cultural difference I was telling you about. Like, well, like northern.
I think the difference is with you guys up there, and I've seen that a lot. I've seen that in some of my comments. A lot of time you get Norteños that will be like, oh, I respect you guys down south, but these guys are a bunch of fucking lames. Or not saying that you're yourself, right? Or they'll say there's a bunch of paisas or something. But I think what it really comes down to, Bam, is that they're your enemies, and you guys just still feel a certain way about them. And what you guys don't understand is we've had that same hate for our own over here that are Southerners. And there is some gangs that, we'll say the same thing. Those fools are a bunch of paisas. Those fools are a bunch of that. And I think that's the thing that you guys haven't shook off yet, because you guys, it seems like we're finally making some type of amends, some type of peace between North and South. And as far as the comments, it's getting much better. But you guys still have that little itch with those guys because they're your enemies. That's what I think. That's what it really comes down to.
yeah. I mean, that was a while back. Yeah. I get what you're saying. And I mean, now, I mean, to be honest, like I'm not gonna say like I mean, because I've been behind the walls and all that now. So
Right.
and behind the walls, like they ain't your enemy. You know, you gotta give them the respect and all that. So it's like going through that. I kind of see like now I work with them and all that. And like I've even so there was some cat from I forget where he was from in LA. So I'm a long haul truck driver, right? And we were doing team driving. So we had to basically live in the truck together.
Right.
Dude, the dude was fucking. He was a southerner from LA, dude. And the dude was fucking funny, dude. Like fuck, like and he was a straight cat, and we were just like fucking. We were cool. We found a lot of common ground, you know.
That's right.
And even from up here now too, like I got into a little like legal issues. You know, a southerner from up here kind of mentioned my name, and I think he was like a young cat, so he didn't know any better. And like so I talked to some older cat from out here, southerner, and he ended up being hella cool. Like we had to exchange numbers. I was like, hey bro, your little homie kind of said my name, bro, and fucking, and we were at work, and there was a lot of tension with northerners and southerners.
Right.
And I was all like, I don't know why he brought up my name, bro. Like I don't know if it's because he recognized me more, but I mean that's your little homie way, you know. And he's like, oh yeah, he's young and fucking so, and he's an upstate Sureño, right? So,
Right.
but he was hella cool, bro. He ended up fucking talking to his homie and fucking he helped me out a lot. And ever since then, I kind of been like, oh shit, like I don't even know if I would have helped that cat, you know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
I mean, I kind of changed my perspective on that. And then like now, as I'm getting older, I know I'm only 31, but like I'm an old soul, bro. So I started like gang banging when I was like 12 years old, bro. Everybody knows the story. I found a little gun, bro. I was like 12. I found a little gun in a paper bag and by a garbage can, and I kicked it. And we found it, and I tested it out. I was 12 years old, bro, carrying a gun. Like I didn't even know that it was like illegal, bro. Like I would
Right.
fucking literally, I would steal from Albertsons, and fucking, I would just be riding around with it on my skateboard, on my bike. I didn't know it was illegal, bro. Like literally, I didn't
You
know.
were
I
a
just
kid.
had it, and yeah, and I was showing it off to everybody. Like everybody knew I had it, and I was like, hey, look, chip out, you know. And fucking, oh, let's go check it out. Let's go try it. And it only shot once, bro. It was like broken or some shit. And yeah, everybody knows that. That's how everybody remembers me as a kid in the apartment. It's like, hey, fool, remember you found that shit? I was like, yeah, that shit was
Right.
cool, bro. We had a gang of fun with that, and fucking and so yeah, but like I said, like I had run-ins with the law, bro. I even fucking so yeah, so I've been fucking when I was 18, I almost caught like fucking a life case and shit, and it was crazy, bro. Yeah, and so like ever since then though, I'm gonna tell you, like I kind of grew up mentally, bro. Like when I was sitting in county in the West Wing with the lifers,
Right.
like I was like, fuck, bro, like I mean, I was excited, right? It's my first time going to county, and I was excited, right? And everybody was excited for me. To be honest, I was like, fuck, because everybody was like, you know what I mean? I was like, fuck, but then I was like, after like a couple months, I was like, hey, I'm over it, way, like fuck, straight up, you know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Like, but I mean, I didn't call it quits or anything. Luckily, fucking everything got straightened out, and fucking I was hoping that everything got straightened out. You know, you can't say no names and shit. I was like,
Right.
everything got
Right.
straightened out, and I got released, and I was like, okay, cool, fucking. I was like, fucking. So ever since then, I kind of been like cautious, bro. Like I didn't want to dedicate myself to the streets and end up doing live. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Of
So
course,
fuck.
man.
And so like, and during, you know what I mean? So like, I kind of just been, why I kind of just got into watching like politics and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Of
so
course.
6 years ago, I got into like kind of like politics. I got an idea how it works, but I'm still not even that familiar with it. You never know, you know?
Right.
It's always
So,
changing.
that's the one thing that really caught my attention about you. You're a full right wing guy, I think. Is that
Yeah,
fair to say?
yeah, it's safe to say, bro. But like, so like, I've always had that like kind of the way I kind of look at Republicans, or like as parents, you know, like you know, you got the mom or you got the mom, the dad. One parent is strict and the other parent's hella lenient, right? And so you look at that. So the way I look at it is like the Republicans are just hella strict, right? And then the Democrats are hella lenient, right? On you know
Yes.
what I mean? Like the parent, like the Democrats are like the nice parent,
Like the
and
mama.
I've always, yeah, exactly, like trying to baby you, and like that's how
Yes.
my mom was. My mom was like hella like, so my mom was like hella easy on me. Like she let me get away with murder, bro, and that's kind
Yeah.
of like how I ended up in the path that I got into, bro. It's just no consequences, no structure, no discipline. Like she was babying me. I'd fucking straight up get in trouble for. I got in trouble for. I found a knife on my way to school. I took it. And I was showing everybody I got suspended, like, and she just gave me a hug and took me to McDonald's, bro. You know what I mean? But my stepdad, bro, he's a paisano. He's from Jalisco, and he was fucking strict, bro. Like he was no joke. Like he came home and he would just give you that look, and you know it's time to clean or get shit cracking, you know. And he was hella hard on me, hella strict, and he was always fighting with mom, like, hey, you know what? Like, you're letting him get away with murder, you're letting him get away with all this shit. There's no consequences, like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't cool with that. Like, he needs to have consequences. And you know, when I was young, I'll tell you how this plugs in. So when I was
Okay.
young, I hated my stepdad, right? And I was like, fuck. So he's more like the Republican, strict, firm, fucking no bullshit. Everybody like, oh, my mom tried to give me that sob story, try to give him that sob story, like, oh, he just had a hard life, and it's just been me and him, and this and that, right? Coming up with all these excuses for me. And he was like, I don't care. I've had a hard life too. I grew up in Mexico. I slept outside. You know what I mean? My house didn't even have walls, and I don't care. You don't see me crying, you know? And I was just like, I would listen to all that shit, you know, and I could hear my mom defending me and speaking up for me, right? And then like I was just kind of reflecting on my life as I was in county jail, fucking facing a long ass time. And I was just reflecting, like, fuck, dude, like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, but I've always worked, right? I've always been like I started working as soon as I can, but like, just the streets, bro. You know what I'm saying? The streets,
Yeah, of
fucking,
course.
just never having any consequences. So being in jail, I had a hard time in jail, bro. Even when I was in jail, bro, I got caught with shanks, and then like, you know what I mean? With us, I don't want to get too into
Of course.
to the street politics, but even in there, you gotta, only certain people could have certain artillery and shit, and fucking, I was over there taking it upon myself to carry my own shit, you know, and like that's not cool in there, you know. It's like, hey, bro, we have to know what's on the, you know what I mean, what's going on around us, and you're over here getting caught with shit that we didn't even know you had, and then I'm just getting in trouble in there, and I had a hard time just following suit with authority in there, bro, with the street politics with the
Right.
homies, you know, and just a big old knucklehead. And the cops came and fucking they raided my room, and I was resisting arrest inside of county, and I was just running amok, bro. And then like when I went to the hole, that's when I was like, hey, bro, like, and then I went to get arraigned, and I was like, fuck, bro. And then I started thinking about my stepdad, like, fuck, bro, he was just trying to protect me from this shit, you know. Think about my stepdad, like, fuck, bro, this dude was just looking out for me, dude. All those times he took away my toys, all those times he fucking kept me in the house, all those times he he took my bike because he bought me a bike, right? And fucking he what's it called, so he took my bike, bro, and I was pissed. I hated him, bro. I was like, fuck this guy, bro. Like, and I would rebel, bro, like big time. And then like I kind of see it now that I'm older, I kind of see the same thing now, bro. Like with like Republicans and Democrats, bro. I see like how they're hella lenient on the people protesting, burning down buildings. Like, oh, it's okay, they've had a hard life, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I kind of look at it like that, and now I'm just like, fuck, bro. I up until recently, bro, I put the right winger. Like this year, no, last year I officially, like, so I was like, I'm a Republican, bro, conservative, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so
And
you turn full Republican now.
yeah, last year, yeah, but like I've always had that mentality, bro. Like the nah, no excuses, bullshit. Like no race. We ain't gonna use our skin color as an excuse. You know, my stepdad was from Jalisco, bro, like a paisano. My mom taught him how to write his name and everything because he didn't know how to spell or read or write, you know. And he was like, "There's no excuse. Like, there's no excuse for you. You know English. You know how to read and write. You have a better advantage than me." Like, and he was always just hard on me like that. And so like so I kind of have like his kind of mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of grew into me because at first when I was younger, before I matured, I had that rebellious mentality, like, you know what I mean? Like my mom played like the victim role,
Right.
right? The victim role, that's what I'm saying. And then my stepdad was from Mex, and he was more like the strict, like no excuses, let's get shit done, let's make shit happen, you know?
Isn't it funny how when you got guys like I call him your father, believe it or not. He's more like your
Yeah,
father, right?
yeah,
Somebody
yeah,
like
he's my dad, yeah.
Yeah, somebody like your father that's an actual immigrant that came from another country, they don't feel the same way a lot of people who are born here that are sit there say, fuck America, this is Mexico. Those guys came, or people say, oh, you say Mexico. I'm from originally from Honduras, and I was born there. Most people
Oh,
that were,
okay.
most people that were born or raised somewhat in a third world country come over here, they appreciate it, brother. But it seems like people who are
Yeah.
born here, they don't.
Hey, you got a good point, bro. Yeah, and I've noticed that, bro. And that's the thing with my grandpa too, right? So for my real dad, my grandpa, they're from Zacatecas. Um, my grandpa, one time when I was a kid, like I don't know how old I was, bro. I must have been like 5, and there was a Mexican flag, and there was something on TV, and then I had mentioned that I was a Mexican, right? Or that I'm Mexican, and he was like, "What?" And he turned out he was doing something. He stopped what he was doing. He was checking me, bro. He's like, "You're what?" Like telling me in Spanish, and I was replying to him in English, like, "I'm a Mexican, eh?" And fucking, he's all like, "No, you ain't. When's the last time you been to Mexico?" And then I was all like, I just stayed quiet. I was like, "Well, I never been there, you know." And then he's like, "You don't even speak Spanish." I was like, I didn't. I understood it, but I didn't speak it, you know. And then he's all like, you don't even like the food that your grandma serves you. You want pizza and you want hot dogs, and that's true, bro. And it's true. And I was all like, and then I kind of just stopped, bro. I was like, fuck, wait, well, I didn't know what to say. You know, when you're a kid, I didn't know what the fuck, I didn't know what to say, and I was just like, he's like, no, he's like, you're an American, and I was all like, no, but I told him, no, look, you know, I'm brown.
Right.
He's like, that doesn't mean anything. You don't know what it's like over there. You know what I mean? He kind of told me like, you don't know what it's like over there. You know what I mean? He told me like, this is America. You were born here. You're lucky. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I was like, oh shit, like fucking. When I got older, that's when I realized like, oh fuck, fool, like because I used to try and play the victim narrative, like this used to be Mex. You know what I'm saying? Like this was the kingdom of Aztlan, and I had that brown entitlement way. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if you're familiar with that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like oh, I shouldn't have to follow the system. I shouldn't have to take these rules because these are not our rules. This was Mex, and these rules don't apply to me. You know what I mean? That's that brown entitlement that I kind of mentioned, and you know what you understand what I'm saying, right?
But people will say, and I got to play the devil's advocate with you sometimes here. People are going to say that you're a coconut, that you're a sellout, that you forgot your roots, and what do you have to say to those people?
So when they tell me that, like, because I know what I'm doing for them, right? Like I'm kind of opening up their eyes. I feel that I'm opening up their eyes, bro. Like how my stepdad was, like they're just children. They haven't matured yet, right? Like that mentality. Later on, they'll understand. Like I was being firm and strict, and I wasn't gonna like you know what I mean, break no ground for them. I'm standing still on my beliefs, and I just feel that like hopefully one day they'll realize like fuck, all right, he was right, bro. Like he kind of was just saying the truth, you know. And that's happened a lot, bro. Cause I've been called a sellout.
Of course.
And all kinds of shit. I've been like, oh, the Republicans, they don't like you. Look at you, you know what I mean? And then look at me, bro. Like, you wouldn't think I'm a Republican, right? Like, or a conservative. And they'd be like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, some chick on Instagram told me the other day, like, hey, you really think that Donald Trump gives a fuck about you? Look at you. She was a Chicano, right?
Right.
And then like, I was like, to be honest, I don't really have like personal, I don't think that Donald Trump should care about me because I don't care about him personally, you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't cry like if he passed away, but I would be like, damn, bro, like he woke America up and he's dead. But I mean, I'm not going to be like, I wouldn't say on a personal level, right? Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like they call me a sellout and all that, but like me, like the people locally, the people that know me, like in my area code, like they're careful what they say to me, bro. Cause I mean, I'm still, like I wouldn't say active, but like I'm still in good standings. So right. like I could, you know, so people don't disrespect me like that because it's like, hey, I'm still in good standings, bro. And you know what I mean? The 831's a small area, and I'm still in good standings, bro. Like if I come across you with like there could be issues, you know what I'm saying? Like I live a life absent of crime, though, bro. You know what I mean? Like I just recently opened up my own LLC for transportation,
That's right.
Yeah, so it's like I'm a legal entity now, like you know what I mean? And I can get sued and all that. So I try not to fade anymore. I try not to do all that shit, you know, because it's like, fuck, these fools could sue me, you know what I mean? Like,
well, what do you feel about Donald Trump when he first was running for office? And I mean, and that I me personally, brother, I think he's a bigot. All right, I won't say he's a full blown racist. I think he's a bigot. I think there's a difference because when he made those remarks about you know, they're rapists, they're this, they're that, and then he said, I assume some are good people. I mean, that's pretty fucking bold, man. That if he were to say that about African Americans, there would have been riots in the streets.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like yeah, he was making some blanket statements. Yeah, he was making some blanket statements, but like I think he was referring to the coyotes, you know, but who knows? I'm not gonna sit here and defend, but he maybe meant all of them, you know what I mean? But or he just probably made a blanket statement. But it's true, the coyotes, when they bring over, you know what I mean, females and stuff, they do rape them, from what I've heard, you know what I'm saying? And they do stuff like that, but it's not all of them. Yeah, like you said, it's not all of them. And then the thing is, for me, so like when Trump barely started running for office, when it was not even official, when he was just thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? Like right in the beginning, when Obama was barely gonna exit the office, he was still in office, Obama.
Right.
And I related, like everybody was saying he was a racist, but then I related, bro. Like I was like, hey, bro, we're racist, bro. Like us Chicanos are hella racist, way, you know, Mexicans, right?
In which way?
And so like for example, so there was a white boy in the neighborhood, right? He was the only white boy. His name was Jordan. And I told my homies, I was like, hey, fool, if you think about it, way, we're racist too, way, you know? And they were like, nah, how? And I was like, fool, what about Jordan, right? He's a white homie. all white. You know, what I mean, like blue eyes, blonde hair. He first moved to the neighborhood. He came from Kansas. He
Right.
moved to the hood.
Straight widow.
And straight widow, bro. He moved to the
Right.
hood, bro. Turned him out. Fucking he moved to the hood, hella white, like white trash, like a trailer park kid,
Right.
little mocoso white dude. And for no reason, bro, he'd come out, he'd want to play with us, or we'd call him out, like, hey, come ride the bikes, you know. And we'd get him alone, bro, and we'd fuck him up, bro. We'd call him names like Tin Man, Bird Shit, fucking what was the other one? Like we'd call him Bird Shit, Tin Man, See Through, Pilgrim. Like we'd fuck him up, like, and he would get down with us, like, hey, what the fuck? Like
Right.
he didn't know, like. And looking back at it, I was like, damn, he was hella innocent, bro. Like, cause he didn't even call us wet. He didn't know any words like wetback or nothing. He didn't know none of those words.
Right.
So he didn't understand. We were smashing on him for no reason. He caught a fade with each and every one of us. And we were like 9 or 10. And he ended up being my cool ass homie though, you know, but like we used to smash on him, bro, because he was white, bro. Like straight up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
a bunch of Chicanos. And then like his mom would come out and like tell us shit. And like try to knock on our parents' house, and then they wouldn't speak English. They understood. They knew, our parents knew what we were doing to him, but they played the part. Like,
Right.
no hablo inglés. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? And she was
Yeah.
frustrated. And the mom knew fucking after a while, like after like a few months, he was just like, you fucking wetback motherfuckers, get off of my son. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
She started
fuck.
fucking,
Yeah.
but I mean, we would put hands on him, bro. Like we would
Yeah. Of
fuck him
course.
up,
I
dude.
get
Like,
it.
so it's like, damn, you know what I mean? And like fuck, I was like, damn, I feel ashamed because I felt like when me and him were alone, like we were cool, you know what I mean? Just like when other fools would come up, I would start acting up with him, but not really. I wasn't really like that with him, but I seen it, bro. I kind of seen how we treated him because he was white, but I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know what racism was. I just thought that, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think about what's going on right now in the country in general? I mean, we've never been in a situation like this, and a lot of people will sit there and say, especially my co-host Sonny, he would sit there and say that this is the making of a Trump administration, of them dividing us as much as he has. What do you say?
I think that there's both parts. Yeah, I think that by like his tone of voice, maybe, because if you listen to what he said the same thing that Obama said. He said the same thing that Bush said, but his tone was fucking. You know what I'm saying? I think the tone is what upset everybody, because everybody, yeah, it's unorthodox, bro. But I don't think he was running Republican. He was kind of just like, I don't know what they call it when you're like separate, but then he committed to Republican. And I seen that when he committed to Republican, that's when all the race that's when he was officially a racist, you know.
Right.
And he might be a racist, bro. Like I don't doubt it, bro. Like I mean, I don't see him like shaking my hand and having a drink with me, you know.
Also, so
Like
you as a Republican can admit and okay with him being a racist, but you think what he's doing for the country is good,
I think what he's doing for the country is good, like the economy wise.
right?
And I think he did a good thing by waking up, because here's another thing, bro. Like so like you know what I mean? Like when they call us minorities, right? But in California, we're not the minority, bro. You
Right.
know, we're the majority. Like every 1 in 15 or 20 Mexicans or Chicanos, you'll see a white dude. You know what I'm saying? Like every once in a while, they come out of their little communities. You know,
Right.
they're nice communities, but they're just in a corner in the outskirts. You know what I mean? Like so like I said, like I feel that like white people don't have a voice, bro. And I go back to my homie Jordan, right? And I'm just like, fuck, they don't, bro. Like that was happening on a worldwide scale. Like, can you imagine, like, if it was the other way around and a Mexican was getting beat up in a white neighborhood? Like that shit would hit the news, bro. The town would be set on fire, bro. You know what I'm saying? But we were doing it to a white dude, and there was no issues. But this was also years ago. But like now, I think that it still happens. I seen it on YouTube a lot. I seen how like Chicanos were attacking Trump supporters, and like these are middle-aged, 50-year-old white dudes, and they were getting punched out by dudes looking like me, right? Like, and I was
Right.
like, damn, that's kind of like provechando, bro. I was like, nah, wait, that's kind of like, that ain't cool, bro. Like, I was like, I mean, we weren't doing that up here, bro. Like, there's no white people here, bro, literally. And that's why I was all like, damn, wait, I was watching that shit on YouTube and on the news. I was like, yeah, that shit ain't. I don't know how I came across Infowars, and I was like, damn, that shit ain't cool, bro. Like I can't see myself hitting like a 50-year-old man just because he supports Trump. Like, you know, even if he is racist, like fuck, I'd tear him up if I hit him. You know, I can't do it. You know.
Yeah, my personal thing is this, brother. Me, I'm in the center, man. I call both sides out
Yeah.
on their bullshit. At least that's what I feel I do, right?
Yeah.
And I think the sad part in America right now is, especially on the liberal side, they just want to be heard, and they don't want to hear another side of the argument, and they don't understand that
Yeah.
there's a big country here, and yeah, you're gonna get some racists, you're gonna get some people you don't like, but that's the country we live in. And me personally, I think that the racial aspect of the country every year it's dying more. In other words, the races are dying in this country, not by getting
Mm-hmm.
murdered, just by exposure of Latinos, African American community. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you look at the African American community, the hip hop, the majority of people who buy their records and everything are white, brother. That'll tell you
Yeah.
right there that
Mm-hmm.
that stigma of racism is dying in America. But to
Yeah.
me, it seems like nowadays I got people telling me, the other day, Bam, like 2 weeks ago, I woke up. I thought I was having a good life, and I got all depressed on me because somebody told me, "No, Gil, you're oppressed, man." And I was like, "Oh shit, I'm oppressed. I didn't know that, man." So,
Yeah. I've been told that too, eh? Like, yeah.
what do you think about all these guys saying that? No, man, you're oppressed. You have a horrible life. You just don't know it.
I think that that's the Democrat mold. That's the Democrat. I think at one point we were, bro. At one point, but 60 years ago, right? And Democrats are holding on to
No,
that narrative.
maybe more like around 40 to 50 years ago, bro. To be honest with you, it was
Yeah,
late
you're right. You're right.
60s, early
Yeah, you're right.
70s,
You're
so
right.
it was about 40 or 50 years ago.
Okay, like I mean the thing is from what I know on the news, I mean since I
Yeah, of
grew up,
course.
I wasn't oppressed, right? So like so the victim narrative, right? It worked for the Democrats 40, 50 years ago, right? And like they haven't changed up their game plan. So like now they're telling us times have changed,
Of course.
and they're telling us like, hey, you're oppressed, and they're still telling us this like, hey, and then the way I'm looking at it, like, okay, wait, you guys are played out with that shit because check it out, like, so I went to Cabrillo, right, when I in 2015 I started going to some community college, and so I was trying to apply and for financial help, and I couldn't, right? They were asking me questions like, are your family members migrant workers? Are you an immigrant? Are you a dreamer? And I was like, nah, bro. I'm fucking born here. My mom was born here. My dad, he was born in, and they're like, is he a migrant worker? I was like, no, he's actually in prison. And they were like, oh yeah, you don't qualify for no help. And I'm like, fuck, well, how much would it be to sign up for 2 semesters? Or I mean, and then they told me, nah, I mean, it wasn't that much, bro. To me, it was affordable. But then I had to buy my own books. I had to pay for my own semester, right? So I get into the class, and as I get to know all the kids, right, or they're my age, as I get to know all the people, they were dreamers, right? DACA. Not
Right.
only that, but they were like, or their parents, they were either born here, but their parents were working in the Mora.
Right.
So based on that, bro, they got a full year paid, bro, and they didn't have to pay for their books. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that's crazy, way. You know what I'm saying? I thought we were equal. But I mean, if we're gonna be equal, we're gonna be equal, bro. It can't be just like. And then that's when I started kind of feeling like that's bullshit, bro. Like I'm in need of a college education as well, not just because I was born here. It doesn't mean that I'm privileged and I don't need an education. Like I would like an education, and I kind of felt like I kind of had like resentment, bro. You know, like damn,
Right.
bro, like must be nice. Maybe it would have been better had I been born over there, way. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I was thinking. I was like, fuck, bro, like. And then when people talk about oppressed or white privilege, I'm like, what do you mean white privilege, homie? Like you guys got like the dreamers, and I mean, no offense, I got some homies that are dreamers, way.
Right.
But it's like, anyway, you guys can't be painting that victim narrative way. Maybe 50, 40 years ago, like you said. But now, bro, it's like, let's be real, bro. You guys are getting action all day. You know what I'm saying? Up until Trump came and, you know what I mean? I mean, I know he's disrupting shit, but they had it made, bro. Like, they've had it made, bro. They get low income housing. They qualify for a lot of the WIC and all that, right? Babysitting vouchers. And it's just like, damn, bro, like, I don't qualify for that way. My mom didn't either. So it's just like, damn, because she's a Chicano or
Right.
half Filipino, half Mexican. But it's just like, and we were broke, bro. Like I grew up really broke. I slept in cars sometimes with my mom and shit. So like that's why I was like, damn, bro, like, and then I look at like you know what I mean, the kids that their parents are from Mexico or they're from Mexico that came here. I was like, damn, they're hooked up, bro, like with a lot of shit. They had a free education. And I know a dreamer that she had a higher education than me and she was making more than me due to that. She got ahead. And then like they kind of like target like, okay, I want to hire like you guys need to hire more Latinos. So they hire them over people like me or white people. And I'm just like, hey, you guys are getting all the love. You can't sit there and say you're. And the thing is, the same kids are yelling out "fuck America" and they refuse to respect the American flag, right? Like
Right.
they feel that their loyalty is in Mexico, and they feel that my loyalty should be to Mexico, right? And I'm just like, well, why should my loyalty be to Mexico if I have never even been there? And it's like no, but look at you, your heritage. I'm like, fool, I'm not focused on my heritage way. I got kids way. You know what I mean? Like, I can't focus on that way. I can't focus on my ancestors, bro. I got kids way. And I got grandkids gonna come possibly one of these days. You know what I mean? I
That
gotta set.
the thing is that for some people that's blasphemy what you're saying right now.
Yeah, I know.
For some people they're saying that, but I personally don't think you mean it in that way. I think you mean it more than maybe I'm wrong. It more in like me, dude. Like I said, I was born in Honduras. I consider myself
Oh,
American,
you're
brother.
born in Honduras?
I
Okay.
was born there, brother. I was born there. I came here when I was almost 7 years old, so I remember living over there, and it
Yeah.
wasn't a good party, brother. It was not a
Yeah.
good party. Like I said, that's why people who were born in other countries they know what it is. It's like being in
Yeah,
a
like you said.
prison. You know, you have the worst fucking yard in the world, and then you end up in a yard where damn, we got it cracking over here. Wait a minute. And people are talking about no, we want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to that. I'm,
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah.
I'm good to this, but where I will say is I think the grass just always looks greener on the other side because the DACA kids or what now you want to call them, those. Oh shit! I lost you. There, we're back. Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
my bad.
no worries. So the DACA kids or whatever you want to call them, those guys are kind of living on limbo, brother. And me personally, Ben, I blame both parties, brother. I blame both parties for not being able to pass any type of comprehensive immigration bill, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Obama, me personally, I thought Obama was a damn good president.
Mm-hmm.
He came in with a horrible economy that Bush, and that was Bush the second. I think he destroyed the economy. Obama came in here with the collapse of the economy, the housing market, brought it up, and paved the way for the economy that Trump kind of inherited. And Trump
Mm-hmm.
politicked on him and said that he made this. And I think both sides have really been playing us Latinos, raza, whatever you want to call us, brother. I think even the Republicans have been playing us because the Republican
Mm-hmm.
Party, not even the Republican Party, both parties are just about the rich, brother. I think both parties
Yeah.
are just
Mm-hmm.
about the rich. I understand why you say you're right, but I think in reality, when you start sitting down, you're gonna sit there and say, "Wait a minute, what it is this? Tell me if I'm wrong." I think the Republican Party has hijacked the morals and values and the hardworking because there's Democrats that feel the same way, but the Democratic Party has hijacked the oh we'll take care of you, we'll do this for the raza, this and that. But in reality, it's almost like none of them do anything. They just keep us fighting, brother.
Yeah. Like yeah, and here's the thing too. Like I've thought about that too. It hit me one day too. Like, hey, maybe these Republicans are playing us, you know? And it's like once I committed, I was like, no, a few years ago, I was like, what's not to say that this ain't the whole good cop, bad cop scenario, but at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, they're trying to corner us. You know what I'm saying? They ever been
Right.
interviewed by detectives and one's trying to be cool, the other one's like, hey, fuck that, hey, you're
Yes,
guilty, you know what I
yes,
mean?
yes.
And that's what I look at it as sometimes. And I played that scenario in my head and it checks out, bro. It could be. And so you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yeah, I mean, it could be like I'm not gonna be in total denial, bro. Like it could be the fact that it's kind of like public defenders and the DA. I noticed because I was out on bail too. I got out on bail for another case, and I couldn't help but to notice that one time, like they were giggling, my public defender and the DA. But then I had to realize I had to look. I couldn't get mad at them. You know, I was like, you know what? That's the same scenario, bro. It could be the Democrat, Republican, and I'm the pawn, bro. And they're both working for the same agency, just different departments, different sides. But at the end of the day, when the cameras are not rolling and the courtrooms are closed, they could be having coffee. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like they could be drinking, having whatever, having a good time. And I plug that perspective in with Republicans and Democrats. I think that the purposes could be to divide us, you know. And the thing is, like, though, what I've noticed is um, we're like with the liberals, they're more difficult, bro. Like they're not understanding. Like they don't understand how to disagree with somebody without
Yes.
erupting into like a violent or like
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, like and that's what I'm saying too. I'm capable of violence, bro. But I try not to, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I am capable of it, and I've had some liberals come at me, like not come at me, but like say some shit like, "Oh, so you think like try to make me feel stupid? So what about this?" And to be honest, I don't keep up with stocks and all that, bro. Like so they try
Right.
to talk to me about this, and then they try to throw some big words in there. I mean, I have a pretty good vocabulary, but it's like I was like, bro, like you ain't gonna change my mind, like fucking. They're like, you think Trump cares about you? No, I don't think he cares about me. And quite frankly, I don't care about him, but I do care. I do relate to what he's saying, and everybody's crying racism. Me personally, bro, I experienced racism like from my own folks, you know what I mean, from paisas, you know, or from Chicanos and all that, you know what I mean, because I speak with an accent, but I speak with a lisp anyway. So it's like, I mean, even in English, I have an accent, like I talk funny in English, you know,
Right.
and just I've just experienced racism. So like all this is so what's going on right now, right, is racism and all this shit, right?
Right.
And I just feel like the Democrats are trying to keep. I mean, it might not even be just the Democrats, bro. It could be both parties, bro. Like it could be a like you know what I'm saying, good cop, bad cop, and keep all this shit cracking. But it's like they're trying to bring back like I don't know if you've seen on the news that there was like nooses from trees. I was like, this ain't the 1800s, bro. Like this is
Right.
not
Right.
happening. I
Right.
mean, what I tell everybody is like, hey, bro, like you can't really depend on the media for
No,
information.
no,
Some
no. The media, no, brother. The media's full of
yeah,
shit.
that's why I got into podcasts because you get more truth from podcasts, bro.
Yes.
And like like someone like you was holding the camera recording an incident, like there's no edit, there's no narrative, like it's just another civilian, right? And so like that's where I got most. That's what YouTube helped me kind of like decide like where to draw the line. Like I was like, nah, wait, like this fucking our people are wrong, bro. We shouldn't be attacking these middle-aged white people like for shit like that. Like I mean, it's not like we can't do that, bro. I mean, I don't think it's right. I mean, I could personally live with racism because I did live with it all my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? My Spanish was a little broken. And so I'd be working at empaques and, you know, warehouses, and there's a lot of Mexicans, right? And so, like, I'd be talking to them, and then after a while, like, I mean, they could start sensing the accent, and right away with the questions, ¿de dónde son sus padres? Like, but with the face, like, I paid it to everybody, ¿de dónde son sus padres? Oh, pues de aquí. Mi papá es de Zacatecas, pero mi mamá es de aquí. Oh, pues, oh, hablas muy raro. Like they kind of stopped me, like, and I'm just, you know what I'm saying? And like now that as I got, when I was younger, I just like let it slide. But now that I'm older, I was like, hey, that's fucking rude, way. I was like, hey, wait, like I'm fucking talking to you, way, and you're fucking stopping me just to point out my accent. Like that's disrespect. I tell him, way. I tell him, bro.
Right.
I was like, if a white dude, if a white dude did that to them, like, hey, if some paisa was trying to talk to a white dude, like.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, you don't speak English, huh? Like, of course not, bro. Like, of course not. Chill, you know what I mean? And like the raza, they do that shit. So I just tell him like, hey, wait, ten respeto, güey, no estés interruptando, don't be interrupting, bro, like, don't be fucking interrupting me, I'm talking to you. And I had to start putting my foot down, and I had to start getting nasty with them, bro, like, because they're putting me on the spot, bro, and as I got older, I wasn't tolerating it anymore. And that's just how discriminatory, bro, like, point out, just to stop me on my tracks and to point out my Spanish accent, you know what I'm saying, or no?
No,
Yeah, so.
I think with the Democratic Party, and not even the whole Democratic Party, but especially a lot of let's say woke people, quote unquote, nowadays,
Yeah.
it's a one-way conversation, man. It's like you right
Mm-hmm.
now. If there was a woke person talking to you right now, they'd be fighting with you. They'd be calling you all kind of derogatory names. They'd be saying
Mm-hmm.
all kind of stuff that you ain't this, you ain't that, you're a sellout, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where we lose the conversation.
Yeah.
We need to be able to have conversations with people we don't agree with to try to figure out
Mm-hmm.
why they feel that way, what the difference is. And this is what I say on my stuff all the time, brother. I don't care if you're a Norteno Republican from up north like you are. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care if you're a Southern Republican. I don't care if you're a Texan Democrat. I don't care what you are, what color you are. At the end of the day, we all want higher wages, safe place to live, safe place
Exactly.
for our kids to go to school, not worry
Mm-hmm.
about getting robbed, not worry about our car getting broken into. That's what we all want. And I think that's what we need to start talking about. How do we get there and get over all this BS of, oh man, it's just them oppressing us. Oh yes, at the end of the day, and this is a sad thing. Somebody told me that oh, that's a Republican thing. I said, what's that? Oh, pick up your bootstraps and go to work. I said, that's not a Republican. That's a straight Mexicano Latino thing, dude. We get up,
Yeah.
we go to work and we do our thing. And I think
Yeah.
both parties have hijacked a little bit of each thing just
Yeah.
to fit their narrative. And at the end of the day, no man, we just want some good wages and safe places to live, brother.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was gonna get to. Like, you know, I know that the issue isn't immigration, bro. The issue is NAFTA. Are you familiar with that?
I'm very familiar with NAFTA, with Canada and Mexico.
Yeah, like you know, a lot of companies took off, right? And I know that Reagan wrote it, and Bill Clinton rewrote it and signed it, and so it enabled it allowed companies to leave. So
To
that's
take
when the
off, of
economy.
course, of course.
It took a while. It took a while for it to hit, but it did hit. So that right, and in the name of the Democrats when they signed it, right, in the name of help build other economies, but there ain't no human rights. There's no minimum wage laws. There's no. So like I look at it like, oh, okay, they're exploiting, you know what I'm saying? But I was all like, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, they're exploiting, right? And then so we're losing jobs over here. People are getting exploited over there, right? With child labor and getting paid 20 cents a day and all that crap.
Yeah, what it was with NAFTA. NAFTA is a North American Free Trade Agreement. There was no tariffs going back and forth, trading freely from down Mexico to Canada and all that. And that I think the major bill passed with Bill Clinton. And
Yeah.
and what it is this is what I go back to. Both parties are the same. They all have rich people that own businesses. They all have
Yeah.
rich people that would want that cheap labor, and it's cheaper to bring it into the country. I will give Trump that. Trump with NAFTA, I think was a great thing. Trump with the Chinese tariffs, I think that was a great thing. They were ripping us off too, and both countries blinked. China blinked, and so did Canada and Mexico. They blinked. They renegotiated those contracts, and we got more money here, which means hopefully we'll get more business back over here.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
but where this to me, okay, I ask people all the time. I had a few people over my house about 2 weeks ago with a couple young nephews, right? And I asked them, hey, what do you guys think about Trump? They tell me, fuck Trump. I said, okay, no problem. Why?
Mm.
You know what? None of them could answer me why. And that was a sad
Yeah.
thing. I said, no, brother.
Yeah.
If you're gonna say this, you need to get some ammo. To me, when I say F Trump, fuck Trump, let me tell you why, man. To me, what Trump did that nobody really talks about it, nobody really discusses, is he ripped us off by giving some of the biggest tax breaks ever to the multi-billion-dollar companies, brother. And I think that's the big fight that we have in this country that we're losing. Well, we're sitting here fighting over statues, over flags, over
That's right.
oppression, over all this. The rich are getting richer.
Yeah.
They got tax loopholes everywhere. These big companies aren't paying federal taxes, and that's from both parties, Democrat and Republican. So
I agree.
at the end of the day, esos güeyes están haciendo rico while we're fighting. It's almost like what it is. It's like the same thing with gangs. You see two gangs fighting, they're like, look at these fucking idiots. These pendejos. They're fighting for black. They don't even know. That's what the big dogs are doing up there. And those guys, the Democrats and Republicans, they're sitting here looking at us now. Look at these guys. They're fighting for statues. They're fighting for this. And keep feeding. The media, okay, the media is feeding a frenzy. All they're showing, especially Fox, right now is not their turn. Right now, you got CNN, you got MSNBC, you got all these big media. All they're doing is they're pushing white officer hurting a black guy, white person hurting a black guy. That's like me. Today I just barely put a post about a elotero that got attacked over here in Long Beach, right?
Oh, I've been seeing that way. That's brother, disgusting, bro.
I didn't say anything about African Americans. I didn't say anything. I just said this is wrong. We're the liberals, and all of a sudden I was getting attacked. Like, oh, you're starting to start a race war. I'm like, wait a minute, brother. That's the same thing you see every day on CNN. That's all you see. That's all you see, and you don't see that. And me, I'm not even putting anything saying F these guys pushing an issue. I'm just saying, look, dude, make aware that this is going on out here. But seeing those guys are pushing that narrative. Why? To keep us fighting, man. To keep us fighting. Why? They can keep making money, and I think that's the big fight in America. It's the wealth, man.
Exactly. And I don't know if you see my video where I said, like, you know, I mean, it's not about color. This country, they didn't come to this country for color. They came for numbers, profit, right? And that's what it's all about, bro. Profit. At the end of the day, skin color. That's why I tell people, your skin color doesn't hold no monetary value, bro. Like, at the end of the day, your skin color or your ethnicity, you can't pay the bills like that. You can't pay your taxes. You can't pay your car payment with your ethnicity. You can't buy groceries with your skin tone. At the end of the day, it's money. And like I tell people all the time, like, quit worrying about, like, the news is pushing that. I can't blame people because the news and the media is pushing your skin color, your skin color, your skin color. So everybody's looking at their skin color, and it's like, okay, you guys are looking at your skin color, but I mean, like, someone like me, I'm not looking at skin color, so I'm more focused on numbers. I just now started my own business. I mean, I'm not making money off of it right now, right? Because I just got my entity numbers and all that. I just got everything done. So, but it's like, I get it now, bro. Like, I get it. Like, okay, they want us to look over here. Why? There's something going on over there, and I see it. I see what you just said right now. They're getting money, bro. Like, so I seen that a couple of years. I've been noticing that, and I'm just like, okay, so everybody's looking at their skin color, while I'm over here trying to look at, because I'm over here thinking, like, okay, so they want us to look over here. So they what's going on over there though, where they're at, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking. That's why I said at the end of the day, like, I don't worry about race. Like, I don't care about racism. Yeah, that's why I say I don't care about racism. I don't care if a white dude doesn't like me because I'm brown.
Yep.
As long as if he's a good business partner, bro. So my business consultant that I hired was a white lady, and she helped me out. She gave me like loopholes, bro, to avoid paying this fee,
Yeah,
avoid
of
doing
course.
that, avoid this. I mean, obviously I was paying her. I was like, you see, like I don't think that we could relate like on a personal level, and that's fine. Like I mean, she was from like Virginia,
It's
and
business.
yeah, it's business exactly. That's what I was like. You know what? She probably would not. She would probably tuck in her purse if she saw me walking by her.
Yeah.
But since I'm paying her for her time, and I'm gonna benefit out of it in the long run. Like we're able to sit down and have a conversation about making money. And there was no issue. There was no race. You know, I'm sure if we talked about race and culture, like, oh, hey, you know what I mean? There'd be a falling out or there wouldn't be nothing to say. But like, since it's about money and business, like we were like, I couldn't stop asking her questions and she couldn't stop talking to me. So it's like, I get it now. I see it. I'm just like, man, I need to start a business. I need to get numbers. Like everybody's thinking about color, bro. Like all this stuff about tearing down statues and let's say Black lives get. I mean, I think I don't want to speak too much about the Africanos because I mean, but it's like, okay, they're pushing this Black Lives Matters. What do they get out of tearing down that statue? Like, I don't care if it was a Klansman. Like, what if you take down that Klansman statue? Does that put money in your pocket? Are your kids gonna be well off? Are your kids gonna have an education now? Like what? Like why do like petty things like that bother you? You know what I'm saying? It's like
I think
I mean,
they're pushing the narrative.
mm-hmm,
Everybody's so emotionally involved instead of actually like mentally thinking it through. Because at the end of the day, you still got bad schools, you still got police
yeah,
issues, you still got crime within ourselves, and that's on both sides.
yeah,
You still have families that are pretty broken because dad's in prison, mom's on dope, or both are on dope. But
mm-hmm,
and that's one thing that people just don't want to talk about it. It's something like the truth
yeah,
hurts, brother. The truth hurts. But at the end of the day, it's up to every family individually to get their shit together. And
mm-hmm, yeah,
and when we think the government's gonna get it together for us, you got something coming, brother. It ain't gonna happen, man.
yeah, exactly. You hit it right on the nail. I was gonna get there. Like at the end of the day, like if you want to look at race, you know, what I mean, everybody was like, we're all hoping for Trump to save us, and or they're all hoping for Bernie to save us, right? And it's like, look at us, like look at the narrative. It's like, so we're waiting on these rich politicians who happen to be white
Mm-hmm.
to come save us, but then you look at what we do to each other, and it's like, why would they save us when they see us acting like animals? You know what I mean? Like they don't care about us. I mean, like even me, bro. Like if I sat down with a homeless dude, like a literally homeless, like you know, dope fiend,
Right.
I wouldn't have nothing. I wouldn't have nothing in common because you know what I'm saying. So it's like, so a rich politician such as Trump or Bernie, you really think they're gonna have anything in common with me? Like, can we really relate? Like,
No, out of touch with us.
no.
They're completely out of touch with us, brother.
Both sides. That's what I'm
Both
saying. I'm like,
sides.
everybody's like, I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like me, I'm a conservative, but I'm not depending on Trump. You know what I'm saying? I'm holding on to the conservative value, the no excuses, get shit done. And if you think about it, bro, it's a Mexican way of life, bro. It's a Hispanic way of life. Like a chingarle, vámonos.
Yeah, I'll
Like
give you that.
ni modo. Okay, I'm brown. I'm felon. I've done time. Ni modo, bro.
There you at. Where you at? Where you at?
Yo.
All right. Where were you at?
Okay, my bad. My phone died, bro. I got too into it. I seen that it was the battery was dying, but I was all into it. But
That's all right.
yeah, my bad. But so we were saying like so like I don't really depend like on Donald Trump, right? Like I'm not like, I know a lot of people, a lot of Republicans that I hooked up with Lexit, like
Yeah, talk to me about Lexit. What exactly is Lexit, brother?
Lexit is a Latinos. It stands for Latinos exiting the Democratic Party. So they were all Democrats prior, and then they became Republicans. It's ran by a guy named Jesus Holguin, I believe.
Okay.
And so my video went viral, right, about Hispanics playing the narrative, the victim narrative. It went viral. Tito Ortiz posted it, and another big Latinos with Trump posted it. I didn't even know, bro. I woke up the next day with like a few hundred followers and stuff on Instagram, and that video was kind of old too, though. Like that video was kind of old, like a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh shit, what the hell? Like people was barely saw. But so Latinos exiting the Democratic Party, and the majority of them. There's a couple guys from Bakersfield, A-Rod, and then Jesus Holguin is from San Diego or from the San Diego area, and the rest are from like New York. There's a lot of New York, Puerto Ricans.
What kind of numbers does Lexit have right now?
Like members?
Yes.
I don't know, bro. I've only been in contact with maybe like a couple handfuls, like 10 of them.
All right.
And I actually missed the conference call with them. I was having some issues with the Zoom and all that. And then yeah, so they're most of them are New Yorkers, like Puerto Ricans and stuff. And then there was a guy named Nino America. He's out in Texas. And then yeah, so basically it's like a bunch of Latinos from different types, like Hispanics, right? And they're talking about they're exiting from the Democratic Party. And it's actually a real thing, right? They really do go to the White House. I seen pictures of them at the White House, and I seen Jesus with Donald Trump, an actual photo with Donald Trump. And he reached out to me. He said he liked my video, and he wanted me on board. And he kind of explained what they're all about. And I was like, okay, I'm with it, bro. You know what I mean? And I mean, like right now they've been having like calls and conferences and all that. And like me trying to run my own business, it's kind of like busy, you know. And then I'm not really too tech savvy, so like I kind of just like I rely like on just like I feel kind of like, you know what I mean, like damn, like they recruited me and I can't even attend conference calls, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I mean they understand, you know.
What's the main reason that they give for exiting the Democratic Party?
The main reason is their support for Republicans. You know what I noticed? A lot of them, I think some of them are like newborn Republicans, like apenas. They barely converted,
right?
And the thing is, like, yeah, because when I got in and they introduced me to everybody through phone and through, you know what I mean, conference calls and stuff, they were like, hey, be prepared for this. And then to me, I'm like, dude, I mean, I've been a Republican. I've had Republican views. I never announced that I was a Republican, but like,
get ready.
Yeah, bro. Like, I was like, I've caught fades, bro. Like a little scuffles right here and there in the past way. Like when Trump was barely running for president, I lost a few good friends, bro, to be honest.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, a few good friends, but we're cool now. I mean, they recently just added me, bro. At the end of the day, like, we're not different. None of us are. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, the only thing that sets us apart is politics and religion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if we could just learn to be more accepting, we kind of have to be accepting. The thing is, I think everybody was accepting it, but now with everything that happened with politically since Trump came in and Republicans, I feel maybe it could be a power struggle. And because there's a power struggle, it's either a power struggle or the good cop, bad cop scenario, right? It's either a power struggle, and I mean, I would prefer it to be a power struggle because, I mean, admitting or looking at it like, I'm just good cop, bad cop shit, you know?
No,
but,
I think it's a little bit of both, Bam. I think it's a good cop, bad cop, but one of the cop wants the power, and one cop always wants the power over the other. And
that's true. One cop wants the notary, you know what I mean? And yeah, it could be that, bro. I could see it. I could see either side kind of wanting that narrative, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, like we're not too like how you were saying earlier. At the end of the day, though, if we all had to pay less taxes and the cost of living went down, we wouldn't care who was black. We wouldn't care who was Mexican. We wouldn't care who just came here. What is their citizenship status? We wouldn't care about that. We'd be more happy, more tolerable. Have you noticed, bro? Trip out on this. I noticed this. So, you know what I'm saying? I noticed this. Have you noticed that, like, around tax season, right? Everybody has money. And, like, people are cool, like, right? So my lady's ex-husband, he got his taxes, right? He claimed 2 of the kids. And he was all jolly, bro. Hella jolly. Like, he's really difficult. Like, he makes life hella hard for both of us.
Right.
Tax season hit. And he's like, oh, no, don't trip. Like, I'll take the kids to you, bro. Like, don't even worry about it. Oh, okay. I was like, huh? You know what I mean? And with her too, you know, I was like, huh? Wait, what's going on with you? I'm like, what's up with this dude? Eh? He's been all cool with you. He's been cool with me. He's not even, you know what I mean? He's happy, bro. And then, you know what I mean? And then I realized, like, oh, it's tax season. Wait, who wouldn't be happy? And I noticed everybody, even my son's mom, bro, was happy, right? She was being cool with me the same way. Like, oh, everything was tolerable, right? Suddenly I'm easy to text or I'm easy to talk to on the phone.
Right.
And then the money runs out. like after taxes hit 6 weeks later, back to the bullshit. Yeah. And so if you plug that into the economy, it's like if everybody had money, it'd be a lot happier. I don't think people would care really about skin color or citizenship or not citizenship. You know what I'm saying? Like I see that this country is the big dogs are about numbers, and they I mean I don't know if they want us to believe I think they want us to believe that it's about color, but it really isn't about color or race. At the end of the day, we all want to be living comfortably we all want to be living life on our own terms, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, white, black, Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see that like people with money don't really care about race. I really don't, bro. So I think like, you know what I'm saying? But I know that these politicians in general, when I say politicians, I'm saying both sides.
Right.
They capitalize. They know how much race means to us, so they're profiting off it or they're capitalizing on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just want people to realize. So me telling people like, I don't care about my skin color, bro. Like I don't care. Like if you're a Mexican like me, if you ain't on the same mission as me, like you are not my people. I tell them, and they get all worked up, bro. And I don't know if you know those dudes, Pura Cultura.
Yeah,
like those dudes are cool ass cats, bro.
Yeah,
like they're liberal, and I'm Republican. And right. I told them, I respect you guys way todos modos way. You know, like you guys are cool as fuck. You know what I mean? Like I kind of think like right now they're trying to avoid me. Like I told them, hey, what's up? Because I was like, hey, when you guys gonna have me on, bro? Let's do this. And they're like, you know what I mean? Like they're leaving me on red or seen. And I was like, oh, wait.
Hey, twins, you got to get this guy on, because getting this guy on is getting a different perspective. And that's what it's about. It's about getting a different perspective without getting your feelings into it, brother.
Yeah, exactly. And then like, I come from the hood, bro. I come from the barrio, bro. Like literally, way, you know? And I've been seeing memes about Trump getting the hood vote. And I'm just like, well, fuck. I mean, I hope. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think that the answer is with any of these politicians, right? It's with us. And like I see the liberals, what makes me lean way more to the right is I see the liberals are just acting out in ways that don't make sense, bro. Like I just don't see how tearing down a statue is going to make you any better. I don't see how taking down the Aunt Jemima from the syrup is going to make anything better. I really don't see like anything getting better, bro. Same thing with the gay rights and all that, you know, the LGBTQ. Right. Honestly, bro. So when Obama came in, he started changing shit for them, right? Like, honestly, bro, I think gays were at a comfortable place in society, like gays and trans and all that. Like, because there was a lot of gay dudes in this warehouse I was working at, right? It was like 3 or 4 of them, but they were cool as fuck. They were like, they would play gay like with each other, like you know what I mean, perro, and like and like. But they were cool though. They wouldn't fuck around with straight dudes like that or nothing. But like you could clown on them. They would even call each other fags. Excuse my language. I don't say that on here. You know what I mean? But they would call each other fags or pinche joto. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like they would call each other fag. But then the company had to have a big meeting. I guess some law changed or some law passed or some laws got more serious in the work. So like they had this big old meeting, bro, and it was like 120 fools, and 4 of them were gay. And after that meeting, bro, like about how we can't use certain words, like, you know what I mean, we have the gay rights and all that, right? That made everything awkward way. Like, I think by shining light on it, it made it worse, right? And I was I
think that's the thing with the progressive movement. They want you to change overnight. You know, if it's going to be generation, let it change. But it's a lot of things now. You know, you don't call me this, don't call me that. I'm this, I'm that, and it gets so politically correct. You're like, shit, dude, what do I do? It's crazy, and especially if we grew up in a certain way. I get it, but they're trying to push too much at one time. I think is what it is.
Yeah, and I think that like having to watch what we say is kind of like oppressive, bro. Like because I mean. This was in 2011, I believe, or something like 2011 or 10. So the big old meeting about gay rights and all that happened. Some law changed or something. Obama was doing all kinds of stuff. I couldn't even keeping tabs on it, and it made things weird, right? And I was just like, damn, way. I was like, if Obama would have never said anything, everything would have been cool. Like the gays would have been calling us fag because they would call us fags, like fag. Right. I mean, they were gay.
they would call us straight dudes fag. You know what I mean? Fag, and that's how we played. And then like they were kind of like they didn't want to talk to anybody. Everybody had to be careful around them. And I think that the same thing happened with Mexicans, like with this whole Trump.
Right.
And it's like now everybody has to be careful around Mexicans, and right now everybody has to be careful around blacks. And I think that they do it on purpose, possibly, bro. Politicians in general, bro. Like
politicians do it in general. Right now, the left is doing it, but the right does the same thing. The right will sit there and say they're trying to take your guns. They're trying to take your Christmas. They're trying. Well, but uncertainty. The guns. No, I think I don't know how you feel about guns. Me personally, on the Second Amendment, I'm all for it, but I'm also for harder, not even harder, longer background checks. And I think, again, that happens all the time. Both sides don't sit there and actually talk. They start screaming at each other. No, you're going to take my guns. No, and they go back and forth. Whereas, no, guys, keep your gun, but we just want another week or so to know that you're not a nutcase, man. But the right wing will push that they're trying to steal your gun. So it's both sides, what it is, it's like North and South. There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect example right here, homie. North and South. Make sure, especially back in the days, make sure those guys don't get along. Make sure, no, look what they did to you. And then this fooler politic, and look what they did to you. Look what they did to you. Why? Because that way you look at each other, that ain't my homie, that's my enemy. As long as you're the enemy, somebody's got power, brother. And that's what both sides of Republican and Democrat are doing. They're sitting here making each other our enemies, where at the end of the day, we can agree to disagree and move forward with our lives, brother.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I try to be like that, bro. And they're like, you know, I mean, liberals are usually like, no, like, and they try to avoid me. And it's like, well, pues a la chingada, pues, you know. But it's like, I respect everybody's opinion. And then like, but when people try to change mine or try to point out like flaws in mine, that's when I get like defensive, like, all right, wait, like, yeah, valiste verga, you know, like, nah. But it's like I'm telling you, bro, like I have a lot of good friends. I have another homie that's a big old liberal, bro. He's all for taking down statues and all that.
Right.
And he started getting a little anxious and screaming. I was like, bro, like we ended the video chat, you know? Like, but I was like, but where does that, when I got to, where does that get anybody? Like, does that put money in your pocket, way? Like, I was like, do you understand that this economy is ran on numbers, not color, way? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, he got all mad, bro. Like, I don't know if I made a point or not. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying like that's the truth, you know? Like, that's the way I see this economy. I see that, you know what I'm saying? Like even my lady's grandpa, bro, he came from Michoacan with $35, bro. Right now he's worth at least $4 million, way, because he opened business. And he's a Michoacano, straight from the motherland. So he came here as like in his late 20s. And there's just no excuses, way, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't look at himself as he still don't look at himself as a victim, you know? And it's like, you see, like, I'm like, damn, bro. And then, you know what I mean? Like, and there's a lot of other Mexicans and other, you know what I mean, other Hispanic Latinos that are in the same boat. It's like, it just depends how you see yourself. And I know that the Democrat tend to try to hold on to that narrative that we're the weaker communities, weaker, vulnerable community. And it doesn't have to be like that. You know what I mean? If we would just take accountability for ourselves, take accountability for our own faults. Like I tell everybody, so like liberals say like, oh, it's not fair. Mexicans should have this and that because they don't know English. They're at a disadvantage. So where I live in Santa Cruz County, where I came up from, adult education classes to teach English are free, right? So when I went back to adult school, I went back to adult school to get my GED in 2013. So I got my GED in 2013, and then next to us was the Spanish class to teach them English, right? To teach the immigrants English.
Right.
It was, bro, there was only 2 people in the class, and there was room for 35 heads. Wow. And I was like, damn, they don't want to learn, bro. And that's what I tell everybody, like, they don't want to learn, well, that's on them, you know? I mean, if I moved to Mex, out of respect, I would learn the language way, you know what I'm saying? I would try to learn it, bro, just out of respect. I mean, I don't want to go my whole life, like, avoiding talking to people, you know? So
also, though, you got to remember, Bam, some of these people, it's just, as you get older, it's hard to learn the language. I work with a lot of guys who are illegal, but most of the guys who are illegal that I work with, not even most, all of them, brother, they love this country. They love this country.
Yeah, that's true.
They love the opportunity that it is. And I think we get too caught up in those little arguments. Semantics is what they're called. We get caught up in semantics, always arguing over this and that. But at the end, we all kind of want the same thing. The one thing I'm going to switch this up a little bit right now, but the one thing I do want to leave you with, to me, it's this, brother. The minute you pick a party, and I used to be a football Democrat. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
I voted Obama twice. I voted
Mhm.
Hillary, even though I didn't even want to vote for her. I just didn't want Trump in there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But what I notice in my awakening now is both parties are the same. It's a two-headed animal. All the money goes to the top. And
Yeah.
in the minute we choose a party as such as a Democrat or a Republican, it's like choosing
Mhm.
Norteño and a Sureño.
Yeah.
Once we pick that gang, we pick everything they're for, and that's the problem. There's got to be an in between where no, listen, there's good and bad in everything. You can't just
Yeah.
say both parties are horrible because you're on that side, and that's what happens. That's what divides us, man. That's what I think.
Yeah.
What say
Blanket
you?
statement. Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're saying, bro. Yeah, blanket statements, and like I said, I don't like I didn't like George Bush, and he was a Republican. You know, I didn't like him at all. Like I thought he was a scumbag, and you know what I'm saying. But there's some Republicans that won't ever say that just
No,
because.
never.
Yeah,
That's
and they'll
that's
hang on to
hit
that
the
for dear
ring.
life. Like no, like no, like they won't admit the shit he did, and it's like, all right, bro. I mean, you see me, I'm big on accountability. So it's like, hey, bro, the dude's a scumbag way. Like, if you can't hold yourself accountable, you can't hold him accountable just because you guys are from the same party, then we got nothing in common, bro. Because I need to be around people that, you know what I mean, they're somewhat accountable. And I agree, bro. But like I said, I think Trump, I know he don't care about us, but I know he cares about a job well done, or at least that's what I believe. And so I think that's probably why he's like trying to do certain things, right, to help the economy. But like you said, yeah, it's a two-headed monster. It could be to benefit. It always been. The way I understand the tax system, right, because you have so in the state of California, you could apply for a business license, right, as a
Yes,
sole proprietor or a limited liability company
or a corporation.
or a corporation. So my understanding is like corporate. When the lady was telling me, so if you go corporate, you get all the tax breaks. I was like, what happens if I just want to do sole prop though? Because it's cheaper. They're like, uh, less loopholes, less all that, right?
More
Less action.
liability.
Yeah, more liability. Yeah, you can take your assets. So I was like, what about if I go to limited liability? She's like, yeah, that's in the middle. She's like, for starting off, yeah, I would do limited liability, but if you get really big, go incorporate yourself. I was like, okay, why is that? And she, all the loopholes. And basically, bro, like the way I see it, I'm just like, fuck. So if I got, and my chick's grandpa, he became a corporate, right? So
Yeah, you got to become corporate.
yeah, so for Antonio Oseguera, the company right here in Salinas, they're big and they're everywhere, right? They're even in Mex. So it's like, I was like, so he just went corporate, and I know he gets a lot of write-offs, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm not gonna sit there and accuse him of not paying taxes, but that's he's a Hispanic, bro. He's a Mexican, and he's getting the same tax breaks as Nike. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, so it's about numbers, bro. It has to be about numbers, way. You know what I'm saying? It has to be about numbers. It has to be. It isn't about color, way. It isn't about race. I was like, so, you know what I mean? You just gotta think about it like that, like.
One thing I will correct you on, he's most likely not getting the same tax breaks as Nike. That's the thing.
No,
No, that's the thing about that big tax break that I have an issue with Trump. He
mm-hmm.
gave the biggest Fortune 500 companies huge tax breaks, brother. Huge,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, and that's one thing that I really also dislike about the Republican Party. They say the trickle down effect, like Reagan did in the 80s, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
Trump did. Trump got a play card from Reagan when he was doing the tax breaks. I'm looking at him like, are these fools really gonna fall for this again? And they
Mm-hmm.
did. Politics it's a rerun, brother. Life is a rerun. Life is a rerun. He sat there and this is what it is. I'm gonna give the biggest, richest people a tax break, and that money's gonna trickle down. One thing that
Mm-hmm.
trickles down is shit, homeboy. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no.
And I think what we need to do, like you're doing, we need to get game on how politics work, how finances work, how opening up a business works. Get out of this fucking mentality that I got the bling bling, I got the big
Mm-hmm.
car, I got all this. I'm fronting for the gram, but at the same time I'm oppressed. I'm all that. We need to wake up, put our pants on, become men, have these hard conversations where we don't agree with each other, but at the end of the day, agree to disagree and respect one another, brother.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like I respect you, bro. Like I like when you said you thought Obama did a good job. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? But it's like I was like, but I mean, there's some stuff because I was already what do you call it? like choosing sides at that point. So once you choose a side, you're like, you disregard everything. So there's something you know about Obama that I don't, you know what I'm saying? And there's things that, you know what I'm saying, like when you choose a side, and like I said, like who knows? Yeah, maybe it's true. I don't want to go back on Obama, but like I'm gonna just like, so who knows? Like, I mean, maybe it's true, bro. Maybe he did inherit a mess, and sometimes it takes a little long to hit. So I mean, maybe I know Bush did some scummy shit, so maybe what he did, it didn't affect the economy until Obama was in office. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I was living through it. We can discuss this later. I was living through it, so I kind of know. I've been following politics probably since I was about, I don't know, 15, 16 years old, and that was like about in 90. Even when I was busted, I would listen to talk radio all day long, brother. So, but I've always been able to kind of be in the center and kind of look at both sides. But I always go Democrat because that's what Latinos do, and that's what that's what minorities do, brother. But then after this last time, I was like, no. But I definitely will not go Republican just because they are.
Yeah.
They're about making. They're one thing I'll give them. They're about making their money. And they don't shy and hide away from it. That's what they're about. But at the same time, it's about the rich. I think we need to come together, get in the middle. But with that being said, brother, I'm going to give you the last word. And then but I do want to tell you this. I want to talk back with you again. I want to go more into your history of you up north, brother. Because like I said, this is some groundbreaking stuff. We've never done this before. And I appreciate your time, man. So what's your last word, homeboy?
I'm going to go back on corporations and limited liability. So
for sure.
So my understanding, I could be wrong, bro, because I didn't read word for word. So my understanding about corporate, like the reason why they get a lot of tax breaks is because they get the biggest tax breaks because they create taxpayers. Like so Walmart creates, I mean, how many jobs do they have? So they create a bunch of taxpayers. So that's why
jobs.
Yeah. So they create jobs, so they get that tax rate. That's a big tax rate. The more people, if you're a corporate and you have more people working for you, you're basically creating more taxpayers. So you're gonna get a bigger break. That's my understanding of it. And so when I hear that, I'm like, all right, that's true way. So all I gotta do is become a corporation. Sounds easy, I know it ain't, but like I honestly truly believe that because I mean I got my broker license to be a freight broker barely. And I'm still on YouTube, like looking at everything, like going over everything. That's how I learned on YouTube how to open up a business, where to go. And it's like most dudes my age and under my circumstances are looking up like fights on YouTube, looking up latest music videos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to be honest, a lot of homies up here, they look up what's going down in LA. Like, let's hear these fools out. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, your mind's fucking totally in the dirt, bro. Like, you need to be. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say you need to be like me, but like my mind was somewhere else. Like, how do I open up a business? YouTube. Okay, and I was like, oh shit, is that easy? $288 way? Damn, well, let me apply. Fuck, you know what I mean? People buy Jordans for that amount way. For $288 way? It's like, come on, bro. And I see homies a lot. I see homies in the Jordans way, and they cop them, right? And they're like $150. And they got like a couple more than one pair. I'm like, damn, wait, like in my head, like this fool could have opened up his own business. And that same person is playing the victim, like, fuck Republicans, hey, this and that. And it's like, so yeah, anyways, back to the corporations. We can get into that. Like, and I do want to talk to you about like the difference because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that down South, we'll talk about this in the next time we talk, but the blacks and the Hispanics. I went down to LA to a Dodger game. My lady's a big Dodger fan, right? And I'm just like a California team kind of dude when it comes to baseball. So we go down there, bro, and there was some segregation obvious segregation at the Denny's. And then we went to I ended up in a black neighborhood in Long Beach, and there was some shit and I'm not, because up here the brothers, homie, the brothers we're welcome into their neighborhoods with open arms, and vice versa. Like the brothers, and there's a lot of black Northerners, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and the hoods are kind of like intertwined. That's what I'm saying. It's like, hey, cabrón. Yeah, there's the hoods are kind of intertwined. So it's like when I went down south, I was heartbroken to find out that the brothers weren't showing love. They were mad dogging, like kind of like grouping up and looking at me like, what the fuck is this fucking, you know what I mean, Mexican doing here? Yeah. And I was like, damn, bro. I was like, fuck, that's racist. I was like, damn, I never been like discriminated against by a black way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow, yeah.
Fuck way, and I was heartbroken. I was like, damn. I told my chick, like, damn, babe, like that's a trip, huh? Like, because the brothers show love. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can go into their hoods and it's good. You know what I mean? We smoke with them, drink with them, whatever. You know what I mean? So we'll talk about that on the next episode.
Yeah,
but yeah,
for
bro,
sure, brother.
it was a good one, bro. Like we touched up on a lot of things, and I appreciate and respect your opinion, and I appreciate and respect what you're doing, and like, yeah, definitely, bro. I agree. I don't blame you for being in the middle, bro. Like, I kind of feel like in the middle too, but like I lean too much to the right to consider myself in the middle. And then once I committed to Lexit, and like I'm more pumped up about it. Like, yeah,
No
but I
worries,
mean,
brother.
I do have good friends that are liberals, bro, and they just haven't been woken up yet. I know dudes that are like kind of they don't want to admit that they're Republican now, but they agree with all kinds of shit that I post on my Instagram, like, yup, and they laugh at it, and it's like, and it's anti-liberal shit, you know? And they're like,
what's your Instagram, bro? I didn't even ask you. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's my Instagram is OG Bam quotes, OG Bam quotes. We could go live on there too one of these days.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you, like, if you make a video, tag me, bro. Like on YouTube or whatever, I'll find it. I'll find you on YouTube, and are you gonna put it up on YouTube or on your?
I'm gonna put it up on YouTube, and I'm trying to figure out how to do these and put them on Instagram too. But I'll definitely put it up on YouTube, and then I'll put a couple of clips on the gram, homeboy.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. And it's nice talking to you, bro. Fucking, I mean, you know what I mean? I know dudes from I know dudes from LA are not that different from the dudes up north, you know.
We're all the same, homie. We're all the same, homie.
Yeah, we're both we're both, you know, same culture, kind of same lifestyle, and like I've come across some dudes from LA, like I said, bro. Like I even want to bust up laughing right now, bro. Like just because he was fucking funny as fuck, but you know, and it's like we could talk about that on another video, bro. Like North and South.
Yeah, for sure, homie, for sure. Let's do this. Listen, man, what it is, homie. Even North, South, Dominican, Puerto Rican, we're all raza, homie. We're all raza, and we need to be able to have these conversations. And after the conversation's over, close the book on it, and then just start talking to each other man to man, homie.